you will learn about cattle farming. The increase in the human population has led to a rise in the demand for meat. Livestock production needs to gear up to meet this higher demand for hygienically produced milk, meat, eggs, and other animal produce such as honey. How do we ensure that these needs are met? These needs can be met through the practice of animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is the farming and management of animal livestock. Along with cows, cattle include buffaloes, goats, and sheep. The practice of rearing cattle by providing facilities for raising livestock is called cattle farming. Two major species of Indian cattle are Bos indicasur cows and Bos bubalizer buffaloes. Cattle farming is done for milk production and agricultural work. Milk-producing female animals are called milch or dairy animals. Agricultural work involves tilling, irrigation, and carting. Male cattle used for such farm labor are called draught animals. Dairy animals are used for milk production at a farm. Milk production depends, to some extent, on the duration of the lactation period. What is lactation period? The period following the birth of a calf is called the lactation period because during this period, high milk production is observed. By lengthening the lactation period through hormonal stimulation, milk production can be enhanced. What are the management practices in cattle farming? Regular brushing and washing is performed to remove dirt and loose hair. Shelter facilities include well-ventilated roofed sheds to protect cattle from rain, heat, and cold. Animal feed is of two types. Feed with high fiber content, called roughage, for energy, and concentrate feed, that is, feed containing low fiber and high protein content for increasing body weight. Cattle need to be reared with the proper practices described just now. If not, they get infected with diseases. Diseases in cattle are caused by external and internal parasites. External parasites live on the skin and cause skin diseases. Internal parasites like worms affect the stomach and intestine. Liver fluke, an internal parasite, often damages the liver of cattle. Infectious diseases are often caused by bacteria and viruses. How does the cattle farm handle these threats? The cattle farm has set up a proper disease control system. Shelters and other areas on the farm are cleaned and disinfected regularly, and vaccination against various diseases is provided to all cattle. Why do we need to crossbreed animals? Foreign and local breeds can be crossbred to raise animals with the desired qualities. For example, a foreign breed like a Jersey cow has a long lactation period. On the other hand, a local breed like a red Sindhi cow displays resistance to diseases. Therefore, crossbreeding them might lead to a new breed with a long lactation period as well as a strong resistance to diseases.
What is poultry farming? Poultry farming is the practice of raising fowl for egg production and chicken meat. Typically, fowls, an improved poultry breed, are used for producing eggs, and broilers are used for producing meat. Crossbreeding is common in poultry. For example, an Indian breed, a seal, is often crossbred with a foreign breed, Leghorn, to develop new varieties with the desirable traits. What could be the desirable traits? Crossbreeding is done to develop dwarf broiler parents for commercial chick production, which ensures that the birds are ready to be used as meat within a very short period of time. Reduce the size of the egg-laying fowls. Smaller birds consume less food and yield the same number of eggs as larger birds. Increase the number and quality of chicks. Lower the maintenance requirements. And enable the poultry to tolerate high temperatures during summer. What are the management practices in poultry farming? Maintaining temperature at the optimum level for the survival of poultry. Providing hygienic housing conditions. Providing a protein-rich diet with high levels of vitamin A and K. Preventing and controlling pests and diseases that are caused by viruses, bacteria, fungi and parasites. Preventing diseases caused by nutritional deficiencies. Ensuring proper sanitation, spraying disinfectants, and vaccination to prevent the spread of diseases. In this module, you will learn about fish production. What are these enclosures? These enclosures that look like tanks are used to produce fish for commercial purposes. This is also called fish farming or aquaculture. Fish is a cheap source of animal protein. Generally, fish production involves fin fishery and shell fishery. Finned true fish include katla and rohu, and shellfish include prawns, crabs, oysters, and mollusks. We obtain fish in two ways: capture fishing and culture fishing. Capture fishing involves obtaining fish from natural resources like seawater, fresh water, or brackish water. Culture fishing or aquaculture involves farming the fish under regulated conditions in enclosures. Fishing is classified into two types, depending upon the resource used for fishing: marine fishery and inland fishery. Fishing in saltwater regions like seas and oceans is called marine fisheries. Marine fishing resources include 7,500 kilometers of the Indian coastline. marine fish are caught from fishing boats with fishing nets. Popular marine fish varieties include the pomfret, mackerel, Bombay duck, and tuna. Marine fish of high economic value are farmed in sea water. Finned fish like bhetki and pearl spots and shellfish such as prawns, mussels, and oysters are farmed in sea water. Oysters are cultivated for the pearls they make. Have you ever wondered if the stock of fish in the oceans is getting depleted? Unfortunately, that's true. However, as the marine fish stock gets depleted, the demand for more fish can be met by culture fishing or mariculture. Mariculture is culturing fish in seawater. Another technique for capturing fish is by locating large schools of fish in the open sea using satellites and echo sounders. Inland fisheries consist of fresh water regions like freshwater canals, ponds, rivers, and reservoirs where fish are trapped or captured. Can you distinguish between estuaries and lagoons? Another rich source of fish are found in reservoirs where fresh water and seawater mix together, which is known as brackish water. These regions are called estuaries. Lagoons are also fish reservoirs. A lagoon is a body of shallow salt or brackish water separated from the deep sea by a reef of sand or coral. Interestingly, fish culture is sometimes combined with rice farming so that fish can be grown in the paddy fields. Do all fish have similar feeding habits? The feeding habits of fish can differ significantly. This makes intensive fish farming of 5 or 6 fish species with different food habits in a single fish pond possible. This kind of fish farming is called composite fish farming. For example, consider the following combination. Katla, the surface feeders. Rohu, that feed in the middle zone of the pond. Mrigal and common carp that are bottom feeders. And grass carp that feed on weeds. So, all of these species can coexist in a single pond without fighting with each other for food. This helps increase the yield of fish from the same pond. Is there any problem with composite fish culture? One problem with such composite fish culture is that many of these fish breed only during the monsoon. Even if fish seed is collected from the natural habitat of a particular fish, it may be mixed with the seed of other species of fish. So, a major problem in fish farming is the lack of availability of good quality seed. To overcome this problem, Fish are bred in ponds by hormonal stimulation. This process includes injecting an adult female fish with hormones that stimulate the production of eggs. This ensures the supply of pure fish seed in the desired quantities.